How does someone lose 1.26 million people who used to actually like them in a single day? Back in 2019, James Charles found out. The first male CoverGirl spokesperson in the brand's history, 16.5 million subscribers.
And after posting photos on Instagram, people loved it and wanted videos, and 3 years later, we're at 16 million followers and the #1 beauty channel worldwide. I don't know how.
Then 1.26 million gone in a single day. Over the weekend, close to 3 million. Most people know that headline. Almost nobody knows what actually triggered it behind the scenes, or that one of the people closest to the drama filmed a full account of it, 90 minutes, and then quietly buried it. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know both. James Charles started posting makeup videos as a teenager, working as a local makeup artist in upstate New York. In September 2016, a photo of him retaking his senior portrait with a ring light and full makeup went viral. A month later, at 17, he became the first male brand ambassador for CoverGirl.
Today is a great day for lash equality.
Here's a detail that rarely comes up. Those senior photos, the ones that actually built his fame, weren't fully what they seemed. When he first tweeted them out, he claimed he'd gone back with his own ring light to make the highlight pop, a story that got him booked on Ellen DeGeneres.
Our first guest is an incredibly talented makeup artist. Now he's made history by becoming the first ever male CoverGirl. So, James Charles, you're the first male CoverGirl. How does this happen?
And then for my senior pictures, I went and got them done, and they looked so bad. So I emailed the photography studio. Was there be any chance of me being able to retake them? And they actually said yes. So I drove there right away, and I redid my makeup, and I brought my ring light with me, and we retook them, and they turned out really, really good.
Yeah.
So I posted them on Instagram, and they went viral literally overnight. So I guess.
And soon after, into CoverGirl's boardroom. In early 2017, a former friend named Thomas Halbert posted screenshots suggesting the photos weren't retaken at all, just edited afterward with Photoshop. Charles's alleged reply, according to those screenshots, was a joking but pointed threat. If you expose me, I'll kill you. But I know, call me Joanne. The origin story of his entire career had an asterisk from the very beginning, and almost nobody revisits it now. His channel grew fast anyway. Tutorials, a catchphrase.
Hi sisters! Hi sisters!
Hi, sisters!
Hi sisters!
Hi, sister.
Hi sisters!
His own YouTube original series, Instant Influencer.
Wow!
But I could only pick 6 to bring with me to the YouTube stages in Los Angeles, California.
A clothing line, Sisters Apparel, a Morphe palette that repeatedly sold out. One relationship mattered more than the rest. Tati Westbrook had mentored Charles from close to the beginning. In 2017, he did her makeup on her own wedding day. That's the closeness we're talking about.
Yes, you heard me right. Bridal makeup.
I love how it turned out. You look so stunning.
I feel really pretty.
But the years leading up to 2019 weren't clean. In 2017, he joked on Twitter about catching Ebola on a trip to Africa, drawing a public rebuke from CoverGirl itself, and making it worse by referring to Africa as a country in his own apology. Around that time, he told a story about pop star Ariana Grande briefly following and messaging him online, only for her to unfollow once her own fans pushed back over the Ebola comments.
The rudest celebrity you've ever met?
Ariana Grande. Guess I just had a really crappy experience with her, but I went to her show. I posted a bunch of videos on my story from the night. The next morning I had woken up and she had DM'd me. And she was like, oh my God, wish I knew you were coming. Like I would have loved to have you backstage. And I was like, oh. This is right after like all my scandals started happening. And literally 4 hours later, I started getting tweets being like, wow, Ariana unfollowed James. Like the rat gets what he deserves. Like, wow, love karma. And I was like, what the heck? So I checked and she did actually unfollow me, like literally 3 hours. But I messaged her back and I was like, hey, like, did I do something wrong? And she literally was like, hey babe, like I just saw a lot of angry tweets from my fans and I would never want to disappoint them, so I unfollowed.
In 2018, he left a comment on a Shawn Mendes Instagram Live. Can you juggle me like that? Mendes ended the broadcast, and word got back that he'd called Charles's behavior toward him weird, forcing a public apology. That same year, Charles got pulled into a wider round of beauty community infighting alongside Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Gabriel Zamora, Laura Lee, and Nikita Dragun, a preview of exactly the dynamic that would define Dramageddon. Then in April 2019, he made comments in a vlog suggesting he wasn't full gay because he'd been attracted to transgender men, which many read as invalidating trans identity.
In science, in regards to like LGBTQ people, there's what's called the Kinsey scale. So the Kinsey scale is from like 0 to 6, 0 being like completely straight, and 6 being like completely gay. I think that most people are very close to the ends, but there's a huge percentage in the middle too. If I had to put myself on it, I would put myself at like a 5.5.
So you're not even full gay?
I mean, no, there have been girls in the past that I've like thought were really, really beautiful. There's also been like trans guys in the past too that I was like really, really into for a moment in time.
The week before everything exploded, he called himself a catalyst for influencer representation after his first Met Gala, a line the internet mocked hard. April 22nd, 2019. Charles posts an Instagram story for Sugar Bear Hair, a direct competitor to Westbrook's own brand, Halo Beauty.
And I should just be very, very proud of both things that are happening with my brand, Halo Beauty. So many of you have used this product, fallen in love with this product, recommended this product to your friends, family.
By his own account, this wasn't a planned betrayal. He says the crowd around him at Coachella had turned unsafe, and the brand provided security in exchange for the post. Westbrook posted first, without naming him.
I'm literally sitting here in my studio, like I can't film. And I feel really lost, and I feel in my community especially, like I feel really lonely. I'm having one of those days where it's like smacked in my face of what's what, and having to take a look at things and realize what they are and not wanting to realize what they are, you know?
Charles outed himself as the subject before she named him publicly. That should have been close to the end of it. It wasn't. Consider this your warning shot. Like, share, comment. You know the drill. The algorithm's always watching.
This your warning shot!
Huh?
Is everybody all right back there? Did anybody get shot? All right, we're good.
May 10th, 2019. Tati Westbrook posts, "Bye sister, 43 minutes long." And this wasn't just another beauty community disagreement.
But it was just about being lied to and feeling disrespected. He knows where I live. It's not far from him. He could have come face to face and chatted with me because he knew that this would hurt me.
Westbrook accused James Charles of being bought by a rival brand, despite previously insisting that he couldn't be bought. But then, the accusations got much more personal. She accused Charles of trying to manipulate a straight man's sense of his own sexuality, tying the allegation to an incident at her birthday party in Seattle. She said he'd used his fame, his influence, to play with people's emotions. And by the end of the video, there wasn't much ambiguity left. Westbrook told her audience, plainly, she didn't want to be associated with him anymore. And then, the internet took over. Bye Sister passed 29.5 million views, more than double Charles's own subscriber count at the time. And Westbrook, she gained close to 2.9 million subscribers in 3 days. But here's the part that tends to disappear when this story gets retold. The reaction wasn't unanimous. Fellow creator Gabriel Zamora publicly accused Westbrook of bullying Charles, and importantly, he was saying this in real time, not 6 months later, not after everyone knew how the story ended, while the pile-on was still happening.
She created this video and I'm like, what we're not gonna do is literally say that I'm complicit in a situation that you are excluding information from.
And then there were Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Westbrook would later accuse both of pushing her toward posting the video in the first place. Both denied it. And that's what makes this whole period harder to reduce to one clean story. This wasn't an entire community speaking with one voice. It was a live fight breaking out inside it, real creators, real relationships, real people taking completely opposing sides before any of them knew how this thing was going to end. Charles goes from 16.5 million subscribers to 13.9 million in 3 days, a loss of 2.6 million. On the single worst day, 1.26 million alone. Right after Bye Sister dropped, Charles posted an immediate, partial response, not a full denial, admitting Westbrook had warned him his behavior with men he was interested in could get him in trouble, and that she'd been right.
To Tati and James Westbrook, I'm sorry for everything that is going on and everything that I've put you through over the past few weeks.
If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place!
It read less like a defense and more like a concession made from a hotel room while the internet decided his fate. The real counterattack came 8 days later, May 18th. No more lies. 41 minutes of screenshots, texts, and a detailed timeline addressing the sugar bear hair accusation head-on and pushing back point by point on the rest. It worked, fast.
That my friend Nikita, dragon who I was with a lot of the time, was brought by Sugar Bear Hair and had an artist pass, personal security, and backstage passes and was very, very taken care of and safe. When I felt unsafe in the situation, I panicked and I texted Nikita and asked her if she had a connection to the Sugar Bear Hair team that could potentially help me out.
Around 44 million views, more than Bye Sister itself. Charles regained close to 1 million subscribers almost immediately. Westbrook lost around 200,000 and eventually deleted Bye Sister entirely. He stayed off YouTube for exactly a month before returning with, "Hi sisters," a callback to the catchphrase that built his career in the first place. Shane Dawson, one of the creators accused of pushing Westbrook toward the video, filmed a full 90-minute episode on Dramageddon for his own documentary series that year. It never aired. He pulled it after teasing it in the trailer, saying only that the footage didn't make anyone, in his words, look good. Somewhere out there sits one of the key figures' own account of this on camera that the public has never seen. By 2020, Charles was being called fully recovered, the most followed beauty influencer on YouTube. Then, in 2021, 3 separate things hit him at once, and none of them share the shape of Dramageddon. The most serious. In April, allegations surfaced that he'd exchanged inappropriate messages with underage boys. He posted a video titled, "Holding Myself Accountable," admitting to conversations with 2 16-year-olds, saying he'd believed both were 18.
Today's video is going to be from the heart, and I'm going to focus on what happened, the conclusions that I've come to, and most importantly, holding myself accountable for my own actions.
Morphe ended their partnership entirely. YouTube confirmed a temporary demonetization. There was no rebuttal to give this time, because he wasn't disputing what happened. Almost simultaneously, a former producer named Kelly Rockline filed a lawsuit alleging wrongful termination, unpaid overtime during 12-hour, 7-day work weeks after she was promoted to a $72,000 a year role without anyone hired to replace her old one, and disability discrimination after a head injury she suffered while with him in September 2018, which she says led to her firing weeks later. She also alleged he'd used a racial slur in front of her, a claim a second source corroborated to Insider. Charles called the suit blackmail, said his team felt like family, and called the accusations wildly untrue.
My team is like family to me. The fact that this is like even attempting to become a narrative makes me feel like sick to my stomach because it is wildly, wildly untrue.
His fans, in turn, sent Rockline death threats, a detail almost never mentioned alongside the case itself. Then, in April 2020, before either of those, there was the mugshot makeup trend. Charles posting a photo of himself made up with a fake bruised eye and bloody nose as part of a viral TikTok challenge. Domestic violence survivors called it tone-deaf and triggering. He deleted it, insisting the trend had nothing to do with abuse, comparing it to Halloween costumes and action movies. 5 years later, in April and May of 2025, a different kind of controversy hit, one that's barely been covered in long form at all. Charles was accused of housing and dating fellow creator Evan Johnson, who was arrested that same week on a domestic assault charge involving his ex-girlfriend, TikToker Kayla Malik, and later convicted and sentenced to prison time. Charles posted that he did not support Johnson in any way, shape, or form, denied any sexual relationship, and threatened legal action against a podcast host who'd claimed otherwise.
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form. Let me make that f***ing clear. I don't support him, I don't support violence against women, and I sure as hell do not support the disgusting, deplorable, violent, heinous acts that he committed against Kayla Malik behind closed doors.
Within days, Social Blade recorded him losing close to 1 million followers on TikTok alone, even as his YouTube numbers stayed largely untouched. 2 years earlier, in a 2023 interview, Charles had called the 2021 period one of the darkest of his life, mortified when he learned how young the other person actually was. Recovery, even partial, doesn't make any of these disappear. Each one just waits for the next controversy to drag it back up. Fighting back with evidence works when there's a real case to make, and it clearly did in 2019. It only works when the claims are contestable, though. When they're not, accountability is the only honest option.
Need to say sorry.
And even that doesn't undo the damage the way a strong defense once did. 6 years, 5 separate controversies, 1 piece of unreleased footage, and none of it has ever fully left the record.